Charles, explain to us why you're comparing Elon Musk with a fictional soccer coach from an Apple TV series.
Look, deciding that the way that you win is simply to believe strongly enough. It's a great way to win soccer games on a TV show. In the real world, it's a terrible way to choose which stocks to own, right? Because at the end of the day, there are these fundamental truths, which regardless of how much you believe and how strongly you want it to be true, the market doesn't care. And Tesla's going to succeed or fail, and its price is going to go up or down, and probably down because it couldn't possibly go up any more sensibly, not because people believe in it, but because of market fundamentals.
Well, Charles, I got to push you here on some of the basic facts around the big news yesterday. They're moving to Texas. They're going to have lower taxes, maybe easier access to labor, a better ability to hire as they deal with trying to scale. And Musk addressed their competitive advantage. And he said if they're only going to be able to maintain a competitive advantage if they can have a competitive advantage in manufacturing. He said eventually he believes all cars will be electric and eventually all cars will be autonomous. Not sure if that's entirely going to be the case, but how do you address the fact that he's making this move to help the financials of the business?
I mean, for the next year or so, sure, that's fine. But the question isn't what happens in the next year. No company suddenly becomes magically more profitable simply because it moves to Texas, right? If that was true, all of Silicon Valley would have moved to Texas. What matters much more is this question of, is Elon Musk disciplined enough to take advantage of this advantage that he has, right? And we've seen this play out. In the 1950s, Henry Ford created an amazing car company. He popularized and proved that you could mass produce automobiles. And then Alfred Sloan at GM was a fast follower. He looked at what Henry Ford did, and he said, you know what, I'm more disciplined. I can do this better. And GM sped past Ford and never looked back. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Elon Musk has done something amazing. He has proven that you can build electric cars at scale and that there's a market for them. And now GM and every other car company is going to be a fast follower. They've already announced they're going to spend billions of dollars to build their own electric cars, that they're going to sell them for less. And the question is Elon Musk disciplined enough to press his advantage now that he has it? Now, just talking for me, I know more about Elon Musk's personal life than I know about my brother's personal life. They just got hit with a $137 million judgment for having racist work policies in one of their plants. He's someone who spends most of his time talking about going to space and trying to thumb his nose at California and say he's moving to Texas because he thinks California is too mean to him. That doesn't seem like a disciplined CEO. And going forward, the question is, if you have to bet, do you bet on the disciplined company, or do you bet on the company that's run by this really entertaining, great character to watch, but you're not certain what he's going to do next week, much more next year?
Yeah. I mean, I get it, Charles, but we've literally been saying that for years. And I think others would argue that his ability to ramp up to these levels of production does imply some level of discipline, the exact thing he says he doesn't have.
Well, and just to be clear, the car company, Tesla only sold under 500,000 cars last year, right? Compared to General Motors selling 6.8 million cars. And Tesla right now is valued at 10 times GM. So although he has been somewhat disciplined, I think the bigger question is, what should we expect going forward? And you're right, we have underestimated Elon Musk at every step of the way. And the shareholders who own those shares right now, they're not going to abandon him because they're not trying to decide whether to invest in GM or Tesla. They're trying to decide whether to buy more Dungeons and Dragons dice or invest in Tesla, right? There are people who are not looking at market fundamentals to try to figure out where to invest. But I'm saying that for your audience, for all of us, we should take a step back. The biggest risk as I see it, is that Elon Musk keeps on making these bigger and bigger promises. He says that they're going to roll out fully automated driving next year, right? Autopilot that will let you move the car without putting your hands on the steering wheel or having to think about it. So if 99% of those go really, really well and one results in a death, which one do you think is going to get all of the attention and all of the coverage?